and welcome to the show. I am here today, it's that time, on Roadcraft. Yes, I have been very much looking forward to this one, and I've been very lucky to get a bit of early access to this, and I've been really enjoying my time on this one. Look, if you've played SnowRunner, you will get the vague-ish idea. This is not SnowRunner 2.0, though. This is much more, well, it is made by the same people, and you can definitely feel a lot of the SnowRunner DNA. It's not the same. It's not about kind of off-road trucking so much. This is more about building infrastructure. You are often rebuilding an area after a natural disaster, hurricanes, floods, that sort of thing. What we are doing for this particular mission that I am going to show you, I've been playing a fair bit of this. My goal is to rebuild the area around this quarry. That's what we're trying to do. And to do that, we have got to deliver an object, which I'm not going to worry about at this moment in time. But my bigger problem, basically, is I've got to replace this pipe. Now, that sounds very straightforward. In fact, I have a pipe ready to go. In fact, it's not actually locked in place on this one. That's the wrong button, but I should probably lock that before I lose it. Now, these pipes can be made. You sometimes can get them for missions, but it can also be made in facilities. So there's a little bit of logistics works that go on. So, for example, to get the pipes I needed, we had to go and take steel, or like metal, I guess, rubble to this facility, dump a bunch of it in here, and it creates pipes, right? Sometimes you've got to take concrete rubble to make new concrete, or make steel beams, depending on what the missions require, or you can go logging for trees if you need wood, all of that sort of fun stuff. But I have got the resources at the moment, but yeah, you do need to be doing that. The problem I've got is getting to it. Now, I can't go through what I presume would have been a road through this way because it's all flooded. And I tried and I got very stuck and had to bail. Instead, what I've got to do is I've got to go up this way. The problem is, as you can see by my dump truck here, well, there's a massive hill, or a massive dip, a massive hole, which I can't drive my transport trucks through. I mean, I guess there may be, you might be able to fudge your way around, but I'm going to try and do this different. Now, everyone could approach this differently, and there may be a route around here that I've just not seen. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to use the power of building, that's the whole point of this game, to essentially fill in this hole with sand. So we've got this thing, a big old dump truck. Now, the big old dump truck is, well, it is carrying sand, and I'm going to try and get it close to where my smaller dump truck is, because I can refill the smaller dump truck using this. Now, I don't know if refilling small dump truck drains this, whether I'm going to have to keep going to refill this, because it does keep doing that, which is very frustrating. It does seem to leak. Like, could we not have locked the thing down? Do I really need a low range? And possibly do. Right, can you... No. Just stop leaking. I don't quite know why we can't lock it in place. That bit does slightly frustrate me about the game. Let's get into the driving wise. Look, if you played SnowRunner, this will feel relatively familiar. Similar sort of controls. I mean, you're driving often similar vehicles. A lot of them are slower. A lot of them are more industrial. A lot of them are more heavy-duty equipment, right? So... you've got things like bulldozers and cement mixers. No, not cement mixers, sorry. So not even necessarily bulldozers. What am I thinking? Steamroller and like the asphalt layers and all of those kind of equipment. I've got a big chin there. Have I got stuck? No, it's good. So you've got quite a lot of slow vehicles to be manoeuvring around. There are transport vehicles. You can often load those on if you need to go distances with them, because, who wants to be doing long drives with a very, very slow steamroller? But yeah, you've got lots of heavy machinery. The thing that, let's say, the more normal trucks, things like this, do drive as you would expect them to from SnowRunner. They are a bit slow, they're a bit unresponsive, but they're many, many tons of truck. They're going to be. This thing is not... no, don't do that. Now, I could, for example, get a truck like this and just continually pour sand into this area so that there was a path. You can really, really alter the map. There's not like you can build where you want. You do not have to just do the set road. There are set missions where you are building roads and stuff, but You can build roads anywhere you want. I could build a tarmac road all the way through here if I so chose, which I'm not choosing to do because it takes a lot of time, but oh no, stop leaking sand. I mean, you can see where the sand goes there. Now, this has not got the steering lock, but I might not need to go too much further. I'm probably going to be more efficient bringing this back. So, we're going to bring the Tiger, and let's go for a little bit of a wander. So, a lot of the stuff you're going to be doing here is building roads, building with the sand and the like. How close? Oh, that's okay, that's a little bit deeper water. How close do I have to be? Oh. Right. That's not what I needed to do. I thought that was the route I was supposed to go. There is a route through this water. That's why I just kind of continued onwards. Well, we can recover. Thankfully, I can recover just to there. Don't have to go far. The game does, structure-wise, is a little bit different to SnowRunner. There's no fuel, as you will notice. There's no damage to the vehicles, which I'm kind of okay with. This is more about the building and the like, less about the, long-distance driving. I'm okay with that. I can understand why you may be a little bit disappointed on that. However, it more than makes up for it with a whole load of other mechanics that you are dealing with here. You're not just, driving from point A to point B. You are doing a lot more with your vehicle. So, yeah, it kind of takes away a little bit of that so that it can focus on what it's going for. Christ, this water is way deeper than I remember it being. Now, we will push our way through here. This is much more manoeuvrable than the other one. And also, so as far as trucks go, there is a kind of progress system, right? You get rusty versions of trucks to start with, like this thing here, for example. You earn money for completing jobs. Why have you suddenly started moving? I didn't tell you to move. Did I not put the handbrake on? Stay, rusty dump truck. Yeah, so you get these rusty versions of vehicles that you start with. You can buy upgraded ones that are sort of cleaner versions that not only look better but are, more powerful, are, generally... Oh, okay, so I am going to have to do multiple... I might have to fill that truck up a few times. That's a shame. I was hoping to cheese the system, but never mind. No cheese for me. So yeah, as you go through it, you earn money, you can get better versions of these trucks. Not only better versions, but you can get versions that have slightly different abilities. There is, for example, the... God, I've forgotten what it's called now. The thing that you use to flatten the sand, I've completely forgotten its name. But that thing, the... I guess a kind of bulldozery thing. There is an upgraded version of that you can buy that is a transport truck with a sort of plough on the front, so you can use it to flatten sand while transporting goods. That's kind of a helpful thing. And there's all sorts of different ones we go for. There's plenty of vehicles, plenty of tools to be utilising, to be having kind of fun with. Now, this is not going to be even close to enough, but we're getting here. Let's go and turn around and hope that this will work. One of the things that I did notice is you have a lot less winch options. Not many vehicles have winches, and I know it makes sense to a point. Something like this, though, for example, I feel possibly should have a winch. The terrain is not generally as extreme, but you are going to be, like I said, you're going to be building stuff. You're going to be kind of impacting the environment a lot more. So it does kind of make sense that it's probably not quite as extreme. Now, how are we doing? I feel like we are still a very long way away from actually being able to do this. I feel like this is going to take far too long. It's going to take a lot of sand here to do this. I wish there was a quicker way. I don't know. There's literally zero reference points here as to where... It's all right when I come from that way, because you can kind of aim for the road, but it's really, really deep water at some points there. How close? Can I refill the sand without having to go? Ideally, I could refill the sand from here. Can we do that? Maybe? Oh, we can. Fantastic. Now, one of the things the game does do very well and is very interesting is we've got the recover to garage, right? That is still a thing. Now, I don't actually have it set up. I probably should have got it set up to show this. But you can have I think it's sort of a command unit. Basically, you can have a little vehicle that you can drive around a map and set anywhere, park it anywhere, and you can recover your vehicle to that point. Fantastic addition. Very, very big fan of it. In fact, I will just show you what I am talking about. I don't know, as I said, I don't actually know if I've got it spawned in this area. I do not. But if we go over, where is the garage? We started with over here. So these are all the vehicles I've unlocked. It's this thing here. You can deploy this, drive it around a map and park it. Right? Very cool. Just teleport stuff to it, but it costs fuel. You'll see in the top right, there's that little 9 icon. You sort of gain fuel for completing missions and the like, and you use that to teleport vehicles. It basically is a help save a little bit of time, but you can't use it. You can't cheese it completely. You can't just spend the entire time teleporting everything to it. I think so far from what I've seen, it's pretty well balanced. Some levels I have, had a lot more fuel and been able to use it a lot more. It depends on kind of how many of the side missions and that sort of stuff you want to do. But I think it's a really, really good system. It's a really good system in allowing you to save a little bit of time, but in a fair and balanced way. SnowRunner, I like SnowRunner, do not get me wrong. It could waste a lot of your time. It really could. And yeah, it's nice that there is you don't have to use it if you want to drive it around. I mean, I'm doing a lot of this, of course, on my own. If you're playing this in multiplayer, you're going to have a considerably easier time and the like. Now, if we go up here, we're going to try and shuffle it further back. And this is what you're going to spend a lot of your time doing. And that's fine. Like, that is cool. I'm enjoying, this just sort of, I guess, like, terrain manipulation, but just environmental stuff. It's fun. I'm glad to just have, some different challenges. I'm going to crash this, aren't I? It's fine. It's the similar sort of very slow steering that you get from SnowRunner. Oh, have I gone in the wrong part here? God, gotta remember, do not cut this corner. Yeah, it's quite slow steering. When you're driving the Scouts, they can be relatively fast, or I guess relatively fast in comparison to other stuff. Really easy to just get in a load of trouble and have an accident because you forget. You just forget that the steering's really slow on this, so you're bombing it along and it's just a bit sluggish. Oh, don't tell me we're out of sand. Okay, we're not out of sand. Thank God for that. I did not want... I'm hoping this might be enough now to fill the gap. And this is one of these games, and I've always said it's a little bit like Euro Truck Simulator. I appreciate... Literally what I am doing here is shunting sand from one point to another at the moment. And that's kind of what you're going to be doing here. You're going to be doing lots of this sort of little busy work with big trucks and cranes, and sometimes you've got to move debris out of the way, and sometimes you're just going to be driving around picking up scrap because you need a steel pipe. But there's something enjoyable, really enjoyable about this game. And again, I compare it to like Euro Truck Simulator and that style, and it is along the line of SnowRunner. I feel like I might prefer this one in some ways to SnowRunner because I feel like what we're doing is a little bit more impactful. It's not just drive from point A to point B. Drive from here to here. Here's another massive thing that you need to tow. This one here, you are actually altering the map, and you can, some of the routes that I've set, I've built a lot more in terms of road than is technically needed for it, but it was helpful. It made my life easier, so I built more. There's plenty of side missions, and if you're interested in terms of longevity of this, there's a bunch of different areas, and, I think I've probably spent about 15 hours on this game so far. I've completed the tutorial area and one other area, and this one here I think I'm only about 50% of the way through. The other one I am even less of the way through. So there's so much content to be getting on with here that it is very, very impressive. Now, do we reckon this is passable? Now, it's not very good. Do we reckon? I mean, the Tiger might be able to do it. Ooh, okay. The Tiger is capable. But the Tiger is a bit more of an off-roady thing. Will my pipe transport be... Oh, I'll put the handbrake on, because if I don't do that, bloody vehicles rolling away does sometimes get the better of me. So this vehicle here is also an upgraded one. You start off with like a little flatbed, well, a little transport truck, right, a cargo truck, and you have to go get a crane to load stuff into the back of it. The first upgrade I would recommend getting is this, that has the crane on the cargo truck, so you don't have to drive a crane around everywhere. Why is there a green glowing thing in there? What does that do? I do not know. I've not noticed that before. But yeah, this will probably be your first... Oh, that's a ditch. Don't take shortcuts like a muppet. I mean, this thing's light. It's small. It might be okay trying to clamber up the hill. I'm going to take this corner a bit properly, because I don't want to smash my chin on something. Come on now. Around we go. Oh, will we get a bit damp going through? I mean, will we get a bit damp? Well, yeah, it's flooded. Will the engine complain to me? Where is the exhaust and or snorkel on this truck? Don't know. The fact that it didn't even come up with low water level is good. Where actually is it? So the snorkel on this must be really high. I can't actually see an air intake on this. Which I will, you know, not complain about. Oh, that truck is very out of stock. Yeah, I hope this works, because if this doesn't work, I'm going to have to fill that truck up, and this is going to be a 1 hour later kind of a moment. But like I said, it's much like with SnowRunner, you don't mind it. The time just evaporates when playing this one, in the best possible way. The other, you know, let's get into the other thing. Look, I love SnowRunner. It can be a glitchy thing. It can do all manners of weird stuff. Often highly amusing, let's face it. This one, I mean, so far, so good. I have not come across... I mean, look, you can confuse the game a little bit often by using cranes and picking up bits of debris and getting things wedged. Yeah, you can occasionally ping stuff around. Not normally the truck. I've not pinged a truck around yet. I've only pinged... you know, bits of metal about sometimes that I've been trying to, like, wiggle free. That does happen. Well, initially, I would say this thing has been very, very stable and very good. I have come into a couple of crashing issues with the game, with it just locking up. I can't say exactly why. There's no rhyme or reason. It's been at different points. We have made it over there. Yeah, it has crashed. I have lost some progress, unfortunately, from it crashing, which is a bit annoying, but it is just what seems to happen. It's, yeah, as I said, it's not the very worst. God, this is awful to try and get through. It does seem more stable than SnowRunner was. Let's just do that. Okay. I guess we know what we're doing here. This is a weirdly complicated mission for replacing a pipe. I'm going to do that. Where am I? We're going to have to toggle the anchors, aren't we? I was hoping, when I saw there was rocks on the map, I was assuming... That's the wrong button. I was assuming they were little rocks. They are not. Actually, I don't even need... Okay, I don't technically need to move that one. The one I need to move is probably the one in front of me, because getting myself beached is a problem. It's the big rock game, big rock in front of my face, not the ones over there. So many rocks. Man, I could probably get around it actually if we not, well, that's not a button, but never mind. If we, like, very carefully put the handbrake on, very carefully nudge our way through. Now, if I had my big, like, bulldozery thing, I could potentially use that just to cut a path through here. Right, now we will most definitely have to use the crane. The cranes are... always dicey, I think, is the best. So many things can go wrong with the cranes. I can smash my truck in the back. Thankfully, with no damage, it's not too, it's not too bad. We're not going to be able to completely wreck our truck with these. Cranes are surprisingly strong. You can be moving some quite big things. So there are some big cranes that you will be needing, I'm sure, later on. Like these rocks, pretty heavy. Some of the debris, like you're picking up cars and so on, can do it. There are times. Oh wait, that was not where I thought it was. There are times when I have been using cranes to load like the asphalt layer onto transport trucks. That's dicey as anything, but they'll do it. So yeah, it's a game to go and play. It's a very well made game to just go and play around with big machinery and, as the name suggests, create roads. It's just fun. Like, it's so difficult to explain why it's so good, and I probably don't need to. Like, this is the thing, for those of you watching this, for those of you that watch my channel regularly will know I'm a big fan of this game, or the SnowRunner and the like, and will also just be looking forward to this. Because, yeah, you've got a mission where you're doing this, you've got a mission where you've got to be, chopping down trees, you've got a mission where you've got to maybe lay some cables, turn the power on, and it's... oh no, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, there is a lot of the... I say it's just the busy work sort of thing, but it's just, I guess it's just a bit therapeutic-y kind of thing, isn't it? This one, and it is just fun. Can I use the rock to smash other rocks out of the way? Maybe. Can I? Probably. Am I currently? Not really. Right, we can detach that. If we now, I'm thinking, we're going to try and move forward a bit here. It's a bit slow going. I might be able to push the last rock out of the way. Just got to be careful I don't try and climb over it and get myself wedged. It's too heavy. That's fine. Like, that's understandable. I wasn't really expecting that one to work. This is when I'm going to get there. I'm going to drop the pipe in the... I'm going to cry if I drop the pipe in the... like, in the lake, or in what was supposed to be a quarry that's now busted. Oh, flooded, I should say, not busted. Come on. This is so... Admittedly, you don't normally have so many targets to cycle through here. That's why maybe the bulldozer would have been the way to go, or the... whatever it is. Oh, put out anchors, please. Controls-wise, you'll figure it out. It can be a little bit... say overwhelming, almost, but it's pretty straightforward. There are a couple of things that will take a while to figure out, like the cycle target doesn't tell you anything about that, and it's in some vehicles. I think it's in a different side of menu. Yeah, at times it can get a little bit complicated, but nothing terrible. Oh no, come on, climb over that rock. There we go. Well done, truck. Yeah, like niggles with the game have really come down to just the occasional crashing, which seems to get the only consistency. It seems to be later on in the levels. It seems to get a little bit worse, but it has not been all that many times. I've, got stuck in various places. Oh, I probably should have picked up that before coming over here. I'm not... Damn it, I should have loaded that up as well, rather than just to turn up with this, because I'm going to have to go back now to get that. Blast. Right. Target angle. Although this will be much lighter to pick up than the other things. Oh, there it goes. So like this pipe, for example, I'm just going to abandon it here because I can, because there's no penalty for just leaving it around. But I could load this into my truck, take it to the steel pipe facility, recycle it, take a few of these, and then we'll get a new one, and that's how you kind of get stuff around. You will also be, while I'm thinking about it, before I do the exciting thing of loading the pipe, but you can also be like building, you get these missions, these infrastructure ones, and you get money for connecting the power and stuff, and some of these like roads, some of these routes, you will basically, you're kind of like a bit of a logistics simulator. You'll be sending trucks along these routes, and sometimes the routes have problems, and you've got to go and like fix the road up as the trucks go through the road. This map's actually, I think I've done quite a good job of fixing up the roads around here. Do I have a good example to show you? Well, here we built like the roads over here. If you've seen the demo, if you play the demo, you'll see that. But sometimes, like some of the corners, for example, maybe get a bit chopped up as vehicles go through what was fine to start with. So, you know, you'll go and chuck down some... I think I did it here. Here you go. You can kind of see it. So this bit here, trucks were getting stuck on this route. So I just laid a bunch of sand and put the bulldozer thing over it. And that's fine. It stopped getting cut up by the vehicles. So yeah, you've got to kind of manage these routes, and they'll give you some resources. That's not really the main aspect of the game. You sometimes have to build them for missions, but it is something you can get a few extra resources for. So for your like steel pipes and the like. Right, let's spin the crane around. There's a lot to be doing, and while it's on the surface might not sound the most fun, it really is. You just get hooked. You just get hooked. Again, if you've got hooked on SnowRunner, yeah, it's a slightly different itch that this one scratches, but it does it very, very well. And it's relatively kind on the old detaching and making sure stuff is in the right place. And plop. And there we go. So we have completed the pipe request, and now we've got to find... what does it actually want me to deliver? Oh, that thing. Oh, bloody hell. Yeah, I really should have picked that up before. You know what? Oh, I'm going to go do it. We're going to go do it, because I want to complete the mission. We will take our... Thankfully, we can just teleport ourselves back here. When you sort of load in these maps... In this map here, I'm only part way done. Like, the next thing I've got to do is build a bridge. Like, I've actually got to go build a bridge over here. We've got to get some concrete and build a huge bridge. That's a fun... I mean, a lot of that is just shipping concrete backwards and forwards. Like, yeah, as I said, this is... Oh, didn't mean press that. I meant to go out of low range. This is very much... As I say, kind of like a logistics... Oh, I thought I was out of the... I just want out of low range because we're really slow. Can I go out of low range now? Thank you. Yeah, this is very much a... Let's build logistics and everything. In you know, relatively difficult environments, but I love it. It is. I cannot recommend it enough. Oh, we're still going along here. Hello, where are you going? Don't mind me. The AI do occasionally do dumb things when they are completing these routes. I've seen them get crashed on silly things. It's relatively kind though when you're like designing a route. When you set the vehicles along their way, if they fail, they get bogged down, they get stuck or whatever. You can go along and fix it, and then when you like tell them to resend the route, they restart at the point where they got stuck, so they're not... Again, there's lots of sort of busy work, there's lots of, you know, shipping backwards and forwards. I feel like this game so far wastes my time less than SnowRunner did. It values the player time a little bit more. I say that as I ramble and wander about, but it does seem a little bit more respectful almost of the player's time. And that's not to say it is easier, but it just doesn't take the piss. I'm sure it might on some of the later levels, which is fine. You know, there's got to be some challenges and everything. But, yeah, I think it strikes a really good balance. A really, really good balance between being a challenge and, yeah, being kind of fair and, you know... I'm very fortunate. I get to play video games a lot more than most people. And, you know, not everybody has a huge amount of time to... ferry sand around. So yeah, there's for every time, you know, you're needing to ferry a bunch of sand around, there's, you know, a few ways you can kind of shortcut it a little bit and you can make it more tolerable. And I really like that mix of stuff. Oh, we can see an AI vehicle trying to navigate my iffily planted sand road. Hey van, how are you doing? Right, we're going to drop that in there. And then we are going to pack up the crane, top all the anchors, oh, I can't secure that cargo. Don't like it when it says that. Sometimes, oh no, I can now. Sometimes it can't secure cargo. The one I struggle with is when I'm loading vehicles onto the transport trucks, like the steamroller or the asphalt layer, that sort of thing, or the cable layer. I can't see... It seems to suggest that you can strap them onto the transport trucks, but it never works. Either I'm doing something wrong, or the strapping cargo option is only for, like, boxes. It's not actual for vehicles. Although, I've never had one slide off if you park it and kind of wedge it with the sort of folding ramp at the back of the trucks. I haven't had anything fall off, so... It feels unsafe, but it does seem to work, at least. We're going to take it as a win. This, you know, will only fall off if I flip the truck. And I have got a crane many miles away that can come to the rescue. Much like with SnowRunner, you are going to get stuck at various points. You are going to still... Like, I tried to take a shortcut, as everyone has done. I tried to take a shortcut, didn't realise that what I thought was kind of a field was actually a bog, and drove... It was this truck, actually. And drove it straight into a big puddle of water and just immediately stopped, and then one of the wheels was stuck on a big log. Couldn't move it, had to go get the crane, had to take the crane over, had to be, you know, try and lift this out with a crane, because, as I said, not much has winches, so you're often using cranes to recover vehicles now, which is kind of fun. The cranes actually feel a little bit easier to control, either that or I've got more used to them over the years of playing these games. But yeah, you will often find yourself now having to use a crane. Oh dear. Why have I got stuck here? What am I stuck on is the better question. Oh, no, okay, we just rose out of the water. What did we get stuck on? I guess we've just fallen into a much deeper part than I realised. There is that lip there, I guess, where some like broken concrete is. So yeah, you will still find yourself, you know, it's still really easy to get yourself stuck. As I said, the game does seem to respect your time more. However, you can still get yourself stuck. And, you know, if you get wedged, you can just reset your vehicle and all of that kind of thing. But if you want the, you know, experience of trying to recover stuff, or if you've got, you know, like items that you don't want to lose and so on, yeah, cranes are going to be your friend, which is fun. Yeah, it's just everything. I've just really enjoyed this one. I've really enjoyed this one, and you know, I'm very much looking forward to playing multiplayer and all of that. It'll probably be like doing it on your own can be a bit time consuming because, you know, you've got to shuffle all your vehicles. I'm sure multiplayer will be really good fun having other people, and you'll be able to build roads quicker and all of that sort of stuff. I'm slightly concerned, slight change of subject here, where we built this very iffy hill. We have cut away a lot of that. That might help me, actually. I'm so glad we've got enough ground clearance. We'd probably need one more load of sand to make this reasonable. There, we are cutting away a lot on this. That is a bit concerning. Come on, truck. Oh, no, don't do this. Don't do this to me. No. Oh, you did it so well the first time. Don't get stuck. Don't get stuck. There we go. We're good. Haha. Yeah, so, I mean, you've got the terrain deformation, and it is genuinely going to be, you know, very impactful on your vehicles, and especially on the AI vehicles trying to get around. That just about works. Not very well. We will negotiate our way through the rocks here. Carefully does it. Can we climb over that? We can. Climb over some more. Oh, there we go. Now, I'm hoping when I put this down, it might de-flood this quarry. When you complete the areas, you know, like you can build up the facilities and all of that, it will change the map. So I'm hoping this will de-flood the quarry and I won't have to take that terrible route every time if I need to come back here. I might not need to come back here, to be fair. But depending on what the missions ask for. However, if it de-floods the quarry, I won't have to take the most iffy hill I've ever built / adjusted. Whoa! Okay, we got carried away. That's the steering, being a little slow responsive. And we were going a bit faster there than I thought we were. If I fall in the quarry now, I'm again going to be very sad. Right. Are we... That does not feel like the point of which to load the... There we go, I was going to say. Yeah. That's the point I want to load the, or pick the generator up. Oh, what have I done? There we go, that's fine. Oh, wait, toggle anchors. Ooh, okay, I parked a little bit close. It will be fine though. It'll work. It'll work. We will spin it around. We will drop this down. Continue to spin. Okay, it's going to let me put it there. Fantastic. Use the map to complete the objective. Confirm. Oh, normally it just auto-completes. Okay. Oh, it didn't deflood the quarry. No, I'm gonna have to rebuild. I'm gonna have to rebuild that road up there. I'm gonna have to fill that a bit better. But yeah, I mean that was just one of the many missions. Such a good game. Such a good game. I really look forward to doing some multiplayer with this one. It's just something really, really enjoyable about this game. So there we go. That is going to be it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you are looking forward to Roadcraft as well. Thank you all very much for watching. And until next time, goodbye.